Again, I spoke the other day about the fact that although millions of British people are unemployed, we are still bringing in hundreds of thousands of immigrants to work in Britain. Somebody asked me in a comment whether I really thought that if immigration ended, then this would free up enough jobs for all those British people currently reliant on state benefits or welfare payments. This was a fair point, and in order to answer it, I think that it might be helpful to look at one or two facts and figures. Let's start with a simple job, such as that of cab driver. It is a matter of common observation in modern Britain that if you order an Uber, hire a minicab, then the chances of the driver being white are almost infinitesimally small. Almost without exception, cab drivers are of South Asian heritage. What's that you say? Where is my evidence for such an assertion? Is this mere anecdote? I'm glad that you asked me that. Now, of course, if we're talking about London, then since only a third of people in the capital are white, then it's likely that most cab drivers will not be white. So that's not a fair example. Let us instead look at an English city where two-thirds of the population are white, and one might reasonably expect that most cab drivers would accordingly be white. There's a fairly large community of Pakistani Muslim origin in Bradford, but this makes up less than a third of the population of that city. Just on statistical grounds alone, you might guess that two-thirds of the taxi drivers would be white British in Bradford. A correspondent recently sent me the details of every single licensed cab driver in Bradford. In the description to this video, I give a link to this database, which gives the make, registration number of the car, and the name of the driver of every single cab in the city. All 21,000 of them. Stop now and click on that link and then scroll through those names. There's 21,000. You won't be able to read them all, but scroll through that list and just see what you make of it. You'll see that with one or two exceptions, every single driver is of Pakistani Muslim ancestry. All of them. Just click on that link and look at the database right now and see what I'm talking about. Tell me, what do you think? It certainly looks as though white British people do not get a look in when it comes to being cab drivers. Let's imagine that we had a similar list of owners of newsagents and corner shops in Bradford. How many do you think would be white? What about people running takeaways? Delivery drivers for Amazon? Owners or employees in garment factories? What about those serving coffees in places like Cafe Nero and so on? Or postmen? The truth is that almost every worker that many of us now come into contact with, the traditional working class jobs that is, those we see day to day, the cab drivers, people running corner shops, serving our coffee, delivering our parcels, hardly any of them are now white. It seems as though foreigners and those from immigrant families have now got all those jobs sewn up, and white British people are wholly excluded. Just how this has been done, I could not say, but look again at that database of registered cab drivers and tell me that nothing odd is going on here. 21,000 cab drivers in a city where two-thirds of the population are white, and I doubt if there are more than half a dozen English names. or white names, I should say, on that list. Anybody who sees no connection at all with this situation and the fact that millions of white British people are unemployed really must be either exceedingly slow-witted or deliberately not looking around him and asking questions about the society in which he lives.